I narrate the day everything quietly broke. I am taken into surgery for what I believe is a minor procedure, trusting my husband and sister with my life and belongings. Through fragmented dialogue, nurses asking questions, my husband reassuring me, my sister joking, I reveal my fear and trust. I hand over my wedding rings willingly, believing they will be returned. My inner monologue shows how safe I feel, how unaware I am of what is about to happen. Small details feel off. My husband avoids eye contact, my sister answers for him, but I dismiss them. As the anesthesia pulls me under, I remember thinking, when I wake up, everything will be the same. This chapter ends with me losing consciousness, unaware that this moment is the last time I am treated as family rather than property. I wake up groggy, sore, and disoriented. The room feels wrong before anything is said. Dialogue dominates. My husband's voice sounds rushed. My sister isn't there. Then I receive a phone call from an auction house confirming a sale under my maiden name. I replay the words again and again, confused and humiliated. Why would anyone sell my rings? I ask aloud, mostly to myself. When I confront my husband, his answers are defensive and slippery. He claims it was a temporary decision. The betrayal hits me slowly, like a bruise forming under the skin. I realize my identity was erased while I was unconscious. The chapter ends with me whispering, "You planned this," and his silence answering louder than any confession. I confront my sister next. Dialogue-heavy arguments reveal she helped authenticate the rings using my old documents. She justifies it with debts, desperation, and resentment I never knew existed. My inner thoughts swing between disbelief and rage. I replay memories of us growing up, realizing how often I protected her. My husband finally admits they needed money and thought I would understand. That sentence breaks something permanent inside me. I don't scream, I go quiet. The power shift begins emotionally. I start asking calm questions, and they mistake my silence for forgiveness. Inside, I am documenting everything, every excuse, every lie. I realize they never planned to tell me unless caught. The chapter ends with me thinking, they didn't just sell my rings, they sold my trust. I pretend to recover, physically and emotionally, but inside I am alert. Dialogue becomes strategic. I ask questions that seem innocent. I listen more than I speak. I secretly contact the auction house again, learning legal details about ownership and fraud. A quiet ally emerges in the form of a legal assistant who hints that what happened may be illegal. My husband grows careless, arrogant, assuming I am weak. My sister avoids eye contact. I realize silence scares them more than anger. My inner monologue reflects a moral struggle. Do I expose them or walk away? I decide I want truth first, justice second. This chapter marks my emotional transformation from victim to observer. I am the chapter thinking, they think I survived surgery. They don't know I survived them. I uncover messages, recorded calls, and payment confirmations. Dialogue appears in flashback-style confrontations as I replay voice notes and text exchanges in my head. I realize they used my sedation window deliberately. The betrayal becomes calculated, not impulsive. I confront my husband with evidence, and his panic exposes more truth than words. He begs. My sister threatens. I feel strangely calm. The power balance fully shifts here. I realize revenge doesn't need yelling. It needs timing. I quietly forward everything to my lawyer. This chapter focuses heavily on psychological dominance through controlled dialogue. The chapter ends with me saying, "I'm not angry anymore," and watching fear replace their confidence. Consequences unfold naturally. My husband faces legal trouble for fraud and identity misuse. My sister's engagement collapses. Dialogue-heavy courtroom exchanges and private arguments show them unraveling. I narrate how watching their downfall feels heavier than I expected. I don't feel joy, only clarity. They finally understand I am not coming back. My husband tries emotional manipulation one last time, reminding me of our vows. I respond simply, "You broke them while I was unconscious." That line ends everything. Karma works quietly but thoroughly. I don't interfere. I let truth do its work. This chapter reinforces justice without cruelty. The auction house recovers the rings through legal reversal. When I hold them again, they feel heavier, colder. Dialogue with the auction manager contrasts sharply with my husband's earlier lies, professional, respectful, honest. I realize objects carry memories, not obligations. I choose not to wear the rings again. Instead, I sell them myself and donate part of the money anonymously. This symbolic act represents reclaiming agency. I narrate the emotional weight of letting go. The chapter ends with me thinking, I didn't lose my marriage, I escaped it. I rebuild quietly. New routines, new boundaries. Dialogue with friends shows support without pity. I reflect on how betrayal sharpened my instincts. My sister attempts reconciliation, but I refuse without hatred. I narrate the strength in choosing distance. I no longer define myself as someone who was wronged, but as someone who survived, clearly. This chapter focuses on emotional healing rather than drama. The pacing slows slightly but remains dialogue-driven. I reclaim my identity fully. The final chapter is reflective yet firm. I receive one last message from my husband expressing regret. I don't reply. Instead, I narrate my understanding of closure. It's not forgiveness, it's freedom. The story closes with me stating my full name on my terms and acknowledging the woman I became because of betrayal. The final lines emphasize self-transformation, karmic justice, and emotional resolution. I end with a powerful internal declaration. They took my rings while I slept. I took my life back wide awake.